Hey, my name is Adrian. So today we'll be doing a documentary style video edit based off the style of MagnatesMedia. If you guys are familiar with them, well, most likely you are. All the assets that I'm using in this video are in my Patreon. It's free, so if you just sign up and you can get it and start working along with me if you want to. So first, what I'm gonna do is create a fusion composition. Gonna add that. Um, all right, so maybe right there. Okay. So then once you create your fusion composition, just go into it because basically everything will be done in this fusion composition here. I'm gonna bring in let's see, let's bring in a merge 3D node. All right. Let's add a camera to that. Then after that, let's put in a render and connect that to the media out. All right. So first, let's add the picture we're going to use. So I just put this here. This is the picture right there. Add image plane one time and connect that to the merge. So we could kind of see what's going on over on this side. So let's move the picture in front. All right. Okay, so first, what I'll do is I've done this already. So basically, I'm just kind of walking you through the whole process of how I did this. So I'm gonna put into this image plane now the coordinates of how it was at the ending. So for X, it was 0.26156 up here. Then here I'll put for Y, I'll put negative 0.038636. And for the Z, I'll put negative 1.965823. And then for the scale, 1.363. All right, so that's it for the transform values. Next, we're gonna add a color corrector node. All right, so right here. So for this, we'll raise the lift to 1, and then the brightness to 1. Okay, so you're probably wondering why I would do that, and you can't even see anything, right? This is so if you had seen in the video, in the replay of the finished concept, you'll see that like right before the mask comes, like how each part there's like 3 masks that kind of break up this picture, and kind of makes a little transition for it to fade away. Right before each mask cuts off a piece, you see a black portion. So this color corrector is basically that black portion. Kind of give it to like a little effect. When you see it in action, you'll see you'll better understand. So this has a keyframe for it. All right, so hold up, I'm not go there. So let's see at 67, frame 67. The blend is at 0. Then at frame 68, we raise it back up. All right. So now we have that. All right. All right. And then now we're gonna add a second color corrector. So we do the same thing for this too. So lift is at one, brightness at one. Okay, and a next one too. So make a next one too as well. And we do the same thing. So for this, this keyframe here is going to be at 76. All right, so we go here, we raise, we put it down there. All right, then you go to 77, then we raise it up. All right, so same thing, but just later on. All right, so let's go to this one here. So same thing here, but the keyframe is going to be 78. All right. All right, so we're going to lower this down. Then we're going to go to 79 and raise this up. All right. So now we have keyframes for each one of these now. All right, so for those three. But we're not completely done with this picture here. So now so you can see this. I'm gonna turn all of these off. This next one. So now what we're gonna do is add an unsharp mask, all right? Because I just found it kind of too soft for my liking, so I put an unsharp mask on it. All right, so the unsharp mask, this is these are the values for default, but what I did, I made this 4.68. The gain, yeah, so the gain is that. All right. It seems kind of harsh right now seems like the sharpness kind of harsh right now, but with the effects and stuff that we put on later on, it balances out, I think. Now we're gonna add a next color corrector node. All right, so this one, we lower the saturation to 0.5. All right. And we just keep the rest. No keyframes or anything for that one. Then after this one, we add a shadow, a drop shadow. All right. This drop shadow now is going to be, I guess, basically at, well, the only thing, I guess the main thing different is the blur. So that blur now is 0.654. Everything else is pretty much the same, right? And after that, we're adding a next drop shadow. All right, so this drop shadow, shadow strength is going to be a little bit higher, 0.551. Drop angle is going to be 26. Yeah, and then blur is going to be 0.598. All right. And then we're going to change this. I'm going to change this drop distance to 0.1209. Yeah. Yep. So that's that. All right. So now what we will do, well, no, I'll leave those off for now. Okay. So now what we'll do is add in the mask. There's going to be 3 masks for this picture here. So a rectangular mask. So let me attach it. All right. All right. So let me just put in the location one time. So 0.6441406. All right. And then this one here, 0.10353746. All right. And then we could do the angle at 31.94684. All right. Okay. So this is our, let me see if I can do it. Yeah. So this is the mask right, that we have right here. And now we're gonna add a frame, keyframes to it, because we want this to like switch on like a switch before the transition. So at keyframe 80, we're gonna, oh no, we're gonna have it up 1, then 81. We're gonna drop it down. So like that. All right. So in addition to this masking out the picture, it's going to connect to this color corrector. So as you can see now, you see how it turns to black first and then it comes off. Yeah. So that's going to be the effect for all of the pieces. So this is the first piece. Then now we're going to introduce the next rectangle. And for this rectangle, I'm going to add it onto here. All right. And we're going to change the coordinates. So the center X. So for this one, 0.641406. And then for the Y, 0.454429. 59. I mean, you don't have to put it exactly how I'm putting, but as you know, as you could round it up a bit. Just if it's off of it, you can always move it. You can always move it. Later on with controls and stuff. So, yeah. So that's just that, and then the angle is 32.08345. All right. So, and then we're gonna connect this one. No, well, before that, we're gonna make some keyframes. So keyframe at 77. We're going to have the level up. Then 78. We're gonna bring the level down. All right. So when it goes, yeah. So you see that one goes down. Okay. Then now we're gonna connect this to this color corrector. All right. All right. So what is basically doing is just kind of, when you mask this color corrector, when you add the mask to this color corrector here, basically it's just putting the effect into where the mask is. So it's not affecting everything. It's just affecting where the mask is going to be. Yeah, so that's it for those two. Then we're going to add an X mask. All right. So the center X for this is 0.616753. The Y is 0.87823. The angle is 31.86558. All right. So, we could connect it now. Yeah. Then we're gonna add our keyframes. So at 69, we have it at level 1. then 70. Really bring it down. All right. Let me connect this to this one here. Down. All right. So how does that look? Yeah. Well. Hmm. But as we could see here, it's a little mistake. Um. Okay. So let's see what the masks are. So you see they kind of overlapping each other. So what you're gonna have to do is just move it. You can just move it manually, and so that they don't overlap. Oh no. So you can see each mask here. All right. All right. And you can watch over here and see properly. Uh, all right. So how does that look? Okay. It's still kind of. I still see a little bit of jagginess there. Um. Yeah. There we go. Same thing for this bottom one too as well. Yeah. Let's move it down somewhere. All right. Okay. So that looks good. All right. How you if you're wondering how I got all three of these, uh, they say I just highlighted all of them, and I just after you highlight all of them, you just drag them up into this window, like like that. All right, and then you can move each one of them um individually. All right. So now it looks like we have everything here. I mean for this picture. Now we're gonna go on to the next section, which is the background section. Um, for the background section, um, let's add a background. So we go here, add a background. Um, one time, let's add an image plane, and we connect it to this node. Uh, let's put this right here. Uh, all right. So we have this background, um, which is gonna go behind there. So um, just to, just to kind of a placeholder type of thing. All right. So to set it up, the coordinates for the image plane. This is what it's gonna be. So um, it's gonna be -2.333827. Then the size is gonna be 1.93. All right. So like so. Um, we're gonna add a ellipse mask. So kind of a circle mask. We add that to the background. All right. So what we're doing now is you remember that circle part. There's like a There's like a circle in the middle of the picture, in the middle of the background. Um, so for this ellipse mask, we're going to have like a level 1 soft edge 0, border with 0. So default for those. Then for the Y, it's going to be this 0.4689199. Um, the width 0.32888. For the height 0.33788. All right. And then for the angle, -3.985054. All right. So that's the black. Um, background, and then we invert it. All right. So this is going to be inverted. And the background, let's change the background. When I say the background, I mean the color. So what's a close color? Let's put 0.10196, and because it's kind of slightly gray, so let's put that for all. Yeah. Okay. So what we're gonna do with this ellipse mask is add some keyframes now. So at keyframe 84, we're gonna just set our default values for width, height, and then border width. Then at 101, I'm gonna change the border width to 0.2. I'm gonna change the width to 0.43931176272. Yeah, it's long, but you don't have to put it exact. You might have to fiddle around with it, later on if you don't put exact. But this is to just basically meet the exact how I did it exactly before. So next one for height, we're adding a next keyframe for height, and this is 0.4513363388804. All right. So this is how it looks. So it comes up like this. Yeah, but you can see, if you look at this, you can see it's kind of jerky. Yeah. So what we'll do is go into the spline, and for each one, so we start with border width. We move this. We'll select them, select all of them, all the keyframes, and border width. Press smooth, smooth S, which, or you can right click and click smooth. But not what did I say, smooth S? I mean Shift S is the keyword. Then after that, we could add an ease. You can ease it some more. So I would say bring it up to maybe somewhere in the 60s, like that. So the curve looks, yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then now we deselect the border width, so we see, and you can press this little zoom to fit button here to kind of automatically go to where the keyframes are. Now when you just select width and you deselect the border width, that's all you're gonna see. So now I'm doing the same thing for these keyframes. So I'm gonna click Shift S, then we ease it to around 60 something. All right, that's for the width. And next for the height, sure, 60 something there. All right, so how's that gonna look? Yeah, a lot smoother. Okay, so what we're gonna do next after that is add a merge node. Merge, or you could just click this button right there. Let's bring down this a little bit more. All right, So for this merge node, we're gonna add, because in the final video you see there's like it was a picture of him over on here too, and the background kind of faded. So you'll take this here, put it right here, drag it down some more. All right, and we'll connect this. Okay, so then what we'll do now is, let's move it in so we just see it. Okay, so we add an unsharp mask, because yeah, we'll add a unsharp. Yeah, we'll add an unsharp mask. Okay, so we'll add an unsharp mask node and give it to 2.78. All right, and everything else remains the same. I keep shifting this, but let's shift it. Let's move this down to right here. Okay, then after the unsharp mask, we're going to add a color corrector node. Bring down the saturation to 0. Everything else leave default. All right, so now in the merge node, we're gonna change the center X to 2.06, then 0.513, then the size 1.19, then the blend to 0.065. All right, so it's kind of blending into the background, and then we're leaving the rest default. And then what we're gonna do, if you could see, yeah, if you see inside, yeah, right here, you can still see parts of the picture, and we don't want to see this part of the picture when this is being revealed. So all you have to do is copy this mask, paste it here, and then apply it over this merge. So that cuts it off. So now it goes up. Yeah, you see that? Yeah. Okay. Now what we're gonna do now is add an X merge. All right, so then we're gonna add, no, I click this. We're gonna add a background node. All right, and this will be, let's put this as a green. So 00 AA 00. All right, so kind of a neonish type of green. All right, and we're gonna add a ellipse to the background. All right, so these are the changes we're making to the ellipse. So it's gonna be 0.5 for the, well, it was 0.5 already. So 0.4689199 for the Y. The angle, we're gonna put negative 3.985054. For the width, we're gonna put 0.3288. For the height, we're gonna put 0.37884. All right, so then this, oh no. So then yeah, so this is gonna fade away, this green part. So what we'll do is to do that, we're gonna go to key 65. and we're gonna take the level. Just make a keyframe at level 1. Then at 84, key 84, we're gonna bring it down. So yeah, so like so. And we're gonna we're leaving that keyframe at linear, so we're not gonna change, and we're not gonna add ease to it, anything like that. So when I say this is linear, right? So okay, now we have 2 sections done: the picture and then the background. Next, let's do. Whoa, I I'm kind of bad when it comes to organization. I'm realizing. At least compared to others, I find. Let's add some text. So we'll click the text button. Let's put it over here. Then let's add an image node. I mean, not an image plane. All right. And in the text, we're gonna say Jen. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, but Jensen Huang, I believe that's his name. How to say it? And let's just move it in front a bit so we can see it. All right, so we change the font to Nacheli. Nacheli. I have no clue how to say that. Then the color we're gonna use basically the same color as the green circle. So 00 AA 00. All right. I mean, actually, I didn't really need to do that, but because we're gonna use a gradient on this. So in this gradient part here, we're gonna actually put it here. So 00 AA 00. Okay. So we're gonna bring this down about so. Okay, and then for the size, we're gonna make it 0.126. All right. So let's move this back a little bit like this. All right. So but when we see this text, it's not always there at the start. It's like it writes on to the screen, so it comes on from the kind of the left to the right at the start. So what we'll do is at keyframe 0, we'll put a keyframe, put down the right on to 0 value. Then at key 11, we're gonna raise it up to right there. So now it comes on the screen. Hold up. Is this? No, that's an. Why did it? Okay, I guess it's just doing that itself. Let me bring this back to here. Let's add an unsharp mask to it, to the text. So we leave everything at default values. Then we add a soft glow. The soft glow is gonna be a gain of 0.5512. Then a rule size of 41.7. Yeah, and the rest we just leave. Then after that, we're gonna add a drop shadow. This drop shadow is gonna be pretty much remain pretty much the same. So default. Then for the image plane, we're gonna change the positioning. So for the translation, we're gonna put negative 0.02669346309. Okay. Then for the y, we're gonna put negative 0.1349113. Then for the z, we're gonna put negative 1.62073. All right, so that will be that for that text. All right, so we're gonna add a next text on top of that. For this, let me just rename this text to Jensen Wong text. And how to rename your node? You could just press F2 on whichever node you want to change. Next, I'm gonna add a text here. I'm gonna add a text with the image plane. Bring the image plane down to here. Yeah. So the text for this is gonna be called origin story. Same type of font as before. So this one, but this is gonna be light. All right. Then the size is gonna be 0.0496. All right. Let me move this up a bit. All right, so this text is animated too as well, just like the green one. But instead of coming like how this does, it kind of drops in, fades in, and drops. So how we're gonna do this now is it's like this. We're gonna go into right click this text box here, and we're in text. Go and press follower. Go into modifiers tab, and then here's where we're gonna make our this animation. So now that we're in the modifier tab, what we're gonna do now is put this delay to 2.91. This is gonna just basically cause whatever we do in here is gonna, for each character, make that delay for this long. Now we're gonna go to shading. We're gonna go down to position because we want it to drop in, each one of them to drop in. So for here, we're gonna go to key 0. All right. And then we're gonna put so we're gonna put a keyframe there, right? And it's gonna bring you to this. So you just go back to follower 1, go back down to the same place. And now from 0, you go to 63. Key 63, keyframe 63. All right. And right here, what you'll do is make the you make the Y 0 here. So you leave it. All right. So right here, you make this 0.685. All right, so it starts up, and then at key 63 now. Okay, now we're back to 63. We're bringing this down to 0. Hold on. All right, so what I usually do, because you can see it's kind of stuttery on my computer at the moment. What I do is I go to render 3D, and I learned about this recently, and I changed it to hardware render. So I believe with hardware render, it uses your GPU, and software render uses your CPU. I believe so. I'm not, I'm not expert in knowing what that exactly what that does, but all I know is it makes my my speeds faster in terms of processing. So okay. So as you can see, it's slowly coming down. Yeah. So now that we have that animation, we can go to the next one, and we go back to modifiers, which is the follower tab we're in. We go to opacity. We make a keyframe here at opacity. You bring it down to 0, and then at frame 63, we raise it up like that. So now, yeah, so this, it comes in slowly. Yeah, there we go. All right, so on top of that, I want to smoothen out the keyframes as well. So I'm clicking text, right? The same text we just did the animation to. Select. I'm in opacity. I do each value one at a time. So I'm doing opacity. The next I'm going to do displacement, which is just the position. So I'm click Shift S here, which smooths it out. Then I'm going to bring this to up to 60s around there. All right. Then I'm gonna deselect that. Go to displacement. All right, Shift S. Then 60 is around there. All right. Yeah, there we go. All right. So that's it for the animation for the text there. Now you'll notice that it also fades away in the completed video. Like around here, this origin story text fades away. So how I did that is use a mask. So connect this mask, this rectangular mask, to the text. Add keyframe 0. At keys 0, press the level is gonna be 1. And now at 106, the level is gonna be 0. All right. Okay. Actually, no, because that you can see this is just kind of, no, that's not what we want. So at frame 90, make it 1. All right. So it fades in. Yeah. It fades in and then it fades out. All right. So this first one is redundant. You could just take that up. Now that we did that, what we're gonna do is add a color corrector node. Okay, so add key A9. The gain is gonna be 1, right? Then key 100, keyframe 100. The gain is gonna be 0.25. So we're gonna make it kind of darker. All right, like that. Okay, and then the next is gonna be a soft glow. The gain is gonna be 0.512. Glow size 41.7. All right. All right. So it's coming together. Um, Now we're gonna add a drop shadow. Okay, so we add a drop shadow, and then we're just basically leaving it at default. Then we're gonna add uh Gaussian blur. All right, then the strength is gonna be 0.157. All right. Okay, and then now we're gonna change the image plane values, positioning. So positioning is gonna be like this: negative 0.01256, negative 0.08045, negative 1.62073. All right. All right. And everything else is default. All right. Um yeah. So that's it for that text there. And on to the you'll see, remember there's the next set of text on this side. This is basically gonna be his his bio. Well, not of his bio, but like part of his story, his early story. Um okay, so in this text, it's gonna say the son of Taiwanese American immigrants, Wang spent his childhood in Taiwan and Thailand before moving to the United States, where he, well, hold up. Let me first, before I finish this, let me connect this up so I can see what I'm doing here. Okay. And let me add the positioning so I could get this lined up. So the translation values are for X is 0.228475. And then 0.08962 for Y. Z is negative 1.05487. All right. And yeah, before I add more text, gotta format that text better, but for the font, I'm gonna use Bebes. I don't know if I'm saying that saying that name right, but Bebes New. All right. Um, then we're gonna bring down the size to 0.0244. All right. If you follow this, how this is typed up here, it will look exactly like should look exactly like mine. So with the enters and the how it's entered and how it's put in, yeah. You'll see that part of it is cut off, but that has to do with the camera. The camera, we still have to move. The camera's not in the right place currently. So eventually we'll get to the camera and we'll get the camera in the right spot. So the text and everything's showing up properly. Yeah. So well, I'll do it. I just move it back. I just move it back for now. Let's move it back to right here. So now we're gonna add a next asset. So this one's gonna be Earth. We're gonna add Earth to this. So what I just did, I brought in the asset, the Earth, the green screen, and now connected it to an image plane. So we can see this. This is it right here. Yeah. So we had that going on in the bottom right of the screen. So it kind of, in a way, kind of represents the worldwide reach of, tech and, NVIDIA GPUs. Everybody wants GPUs and stuff. Um, so let me set this up, right? Okay, so the image plane is like, so the coordinates, so X is 0 0.153946482781. Then the Y is negative 0.07968543057776. Yes, it's long. Next one is Z, negative 0.1826119323378. All right. So then what we're gonna do after this is bring the scale way down. So 0.037. Yeah, like right there. All right. So I'm just zooming. Okay, to zoom in, you hold central control and just move in with your middle mouse. So I'm basically gonna add a keyer now. So 3D keyer. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is click this this tool right here, and I'm gonna select green. So it's gonna take out green from this picture, right? It's kind of tiny. I mean, you could have done this bigger, but I mean, to me, it's the same thing because you can still make out. Then this bill right here takes out the rest of the green, and that's it. That's basically it for it. And then you can see it moving. All right. So let me see if I can move this back somewhere. No, didn't mean to do that. Okay. Yeah. So if you move it back, you could kind of see now. Yeah. It in the bottom right. Okay. No. The only thing that you can't see at the moment is there's a black border. It's blending in with this at the moment with a grayish background, but there's a black border on this. So when we add, because we have things like clouds and stuff, when you add that in, you're gonna see it. So to get rid of that black border around it, I'm gonna use ellipse mask and connect it to this. All right. So we connect ellipse mask to it, and that basically gets rid of it. After that, we're going to add Gaussian blur with a strength of 0.591. All right, so it's going to be pretty blurry. All right. So after this, now we're going to add the AI face. Yeah, so there was the AI face that was kind of, when I say AI face, I mean a technology face. I don't know why I said AI, but so this is actually a whole set of clips that has to do with technology. Yeah, as you see, there's robot stuff and things like that going on. But what I did is I basically trim. You could trim this here, right? And move up the video to what you to the part you want. So I'm gonna move it to 301. All right, and then my out is 08. Let me see. Yeah, I mean the out doesn't necessarily matter, but I'll just leave that there for now. Yeah, so you just remember it's the 301. That's the trim. That's the trim. That's what we're starting on. All right, and I placed through the whole video. Nice. Now for the image plane values are as follows. So 0.2299755329279. Then it's negative 0.12, no, negative 0.12060002067053. Then for Z is negative 0.81258128437352. All right, and the scale is 0.454. All right, and of course we're gonna add the keyer to it, 3D keyer to be exact, and put that over there. Yeah, the green effect looks kind of cool by itself too, but nah. So we're gonna desplit it and remove green. Now we're gonna add a color corrector. Bring down the saturation all the way down. All right. Then we're gonna add a Gaussian blur. We're gonna just leave it as it is for now. All right. So right now this is what we have right here. Okay, so we have this cloud picture here. We're gonna bring it down and move it over here. Oh, bring it down and then bring an image plane and then connect it. All right. So this is our cloud. Very, very beautiful sunset. So what we're gonna do to this cloud is add ellipse mask to it. First, so we can see the whole thing. Move it up. All right. You don't have to I'm just bringing it in. I'm bringing it in further so you can see how everything looks. So yeah. Nah, that's with the mask in it. So the mask has the following values. All right. So 0.1323 for the soft edge. For Y, it's going to have 0.6368650. For the width, it's going to have 0.7314369. All right. And then, the rest remains the same. Then after that, we're going to add a transform node. This transform node is going to basically flip so I'm going to flip the node. So I just going to flip the picture. Let's see. Yeah, that's basically it for that. All right. Now for the color corrector, we're going to lower the saturation all the way down. Now we're going to add a Gaussian blur. Now we put this 0.307. All right. Then for the image plane, we're going to change the X to this 0.095147. Negative 0.2327634. negative 0.6952547. All right. All right. Okay, so we have that there. All right, making sure everything is correct. Okay, so now we're gonna add a second cloud, and take an image plane, connect the image plane to the merge. So then after we connect the second cloud picture, we're gonna add ellipse mask again to this. All right. Let me move this up so I can see it. All right. So let's start with the Y. The Y is 0.44200063. The soft edge is 0.1323. The X is 0.6571709. All right, so that's that for the ellipse. Then next we're gonna add a transform node again. So let's see. I wonder if we. I guess we could just leave this blank for now. We could add on. We could add on the next one to it. Color node, color corrector. Bring down the saturation. All right, then we add a Gaussian blur. 0.252. All right. Now for the image plane, for X, we're going to do 0.1496. Again, too excited. 6915. Negative 0.2649566. Negative 1.495653. All right. 53. All right. So that looks to be. So that looks to be that. All right. So we have a next one. We have a next cloud to add in. So yeah, I'm gonna bring it over here. Image plane again. Bring it down. All right. So we're adding a next mask again to it. All right. So this mask is gonna have 0.1323 for the soft edge. Okay, yeah. So now for the X here, we're gonna put 0.6571709. Then for the Y, we're gonna put 0.44200063. All right. for the width, we're going to put 0.3245619. All right. And that's it for that one there. We're going to add a transform again. Not going to use it at the moment. Then we're going to add a color corrector. Bring down the saturation. Then we're going to add a Gaussian blur. 0.409. Then we want to go to the image plane, go to transform. X will be 0.0549,571. Y 0.106038. Z 0.1554497. Z negative 173.9883. All right. So that basically goes up in the top there. You see, it's kind of like a sky type of vibe on the top there. Yeah. So we're going on to this is the last one. This is the last cloud we have to put in. I got a second. Everything else is good. And the reason why we're adding so much clouds is just, and I find they kind of add more depth to when the camera is actually moving. It kind of adds more depth to the picture. Like 3D depth, like showing the movement and everything. So let me add this now. Add an image plane. Bring it over here. Bring it down. All right. Let's move this back so we can see it. All right, we're gonna add our favorite thing is the mask. Add that in. Soft edge 0.1323. Y is 0.6368650. Width is 0.7314369. 14369. Yeah. All right. Then we're going to add a transform. This time we're going to do something here. We're going to use a flip. All right. After this, we're going to use the color correction node. Bring down the saturation. Then now we're going to add a Gaussian blur. 0.307. Then for the image plane, we're going to put in the following. So negative 0.2030562. Negative 0.1577759. Negative 0.0067445. All right. So that's how we have it right now. Let me see. Which one is? I might bring down this mask a little bit. So, actually on further thought, I'm going to raise up this mask for this ellipse right here that I'm on. Ellipse 5. It should be 5. I'm going to raise it up to maybe about right here. Okay, so these are the values here if you want to put it in manually. But basically I get it I want it to look kind of more like this. Yeah. All right, so to add the inside part, we're gonna bring in this picture, the younger picture of Jensen, and we're gonna bring it and connect it to an image plane. So this is the image plane right here, and we connected it to it. And let's see if we could bring back Jensen. But yeah, let's place in. That's just a placeholder, just to have him, so we could see him. So now that we have the picture there, what we'll do is add an unsharp mask to it. All right, so we put the gain up to 2.22. All right, everything else the same. We'll add a radial blur, and the radial blur will be 0.362. And you see this little star? Bring this star and move it up this so you can see his face. That's what we want. We want to see his face, but everything else is not there. All right. Yeah, you can see center position here too. But just move it up to his face. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is change the image plane, put him in the right position. So it'll be, for X, it'll be negative 0.0451176534832. For the Y, it's going to be negative 0.4242009182469. Now for the Z, it's going to be negative 5.276783. All right. So that's how it looks. And then we're going to raise the scale up. So 2.008. Yeah. All right. Then next we're going to add, let's make sure, we're going to add potted plant 1. So that is this one, the smallest plant. So you bring it here, connect it, push it back just so you can see it. All right. So, all right. So we're gonna add a color corrector node. What we're doing here is just trying to get it to match Jensen and the background. When you get the background is, we're gonna change that too. So let's move it over here a little bit to make it more orangey. All right. Saturation is gonna be 0.72. 0.72. Gain is gonna be 0.78. Gamma is gonna be 0.81. All right. Then we're gonna add a Gaussian blur. Oh, nope, not there. Yeah, Gaussian blur. This is gonna be 0.331. Then for the image plane values, it's gonna be 0.5136894. Then for the Z is gonna be negative 3.377458. All right. All right, and that's it for that pot of plant. So then we're gonna add the next one, the second pot of plant, then image plane. All right. Let's bring this one back a little bit so you can see it. All right, so we're gonna add a color corrector node. Same thing. Make it a, I don't know, again orangey. 0.72. Gain 0.78. Gamma 0.81. All right. Why do I keep doing that? Next is Gaussian blur. This is going to be 0.331. Then we're going to add, change the positioning. So it's going to be 0.5136894 for the X. Leave the Y the same. For the Z, 3.377458. Yeah. Okay. We might move that around later on, but for now it's all right. Next we're gonna add the background for this, the computer background that Jensen is in. Put this here. All right, so this background, to push it back a little bit so we can see it there. Color node, color corrector. Same oranges type of feel. Yeah, so we're gonna leave it like that. Then we're gonna add a Gaussian blur onto it. We're gonna do 0.26. Then for the image plane, we're going to leave the X at 0. Then the Y at 498246. Z at negative 6.535553. Then the scale now is gonna be 3.74. Right. That might change in the future, but I'm gonna implement the camera and then I'll see how things look. Yeah, so this is how it is right now. All right. Okay. So onto the camera, right? So the camera, it just has default settings. Default settings it has. For this portion here, for the transform is different. Transform on key 0. We're gonna have the Z at 0.5064663. Then at 20, keyframe 20. Oh, hold up. Let me go back. Yeah. Let me add the keyframe first. Yeah. Add the keyframe first. Don't rush ahead. All right. So at key 20, now we're gonna do 0.439403 for the axis for the Z. Then at key 37, we're going to do 0.45. Then at key 65, we're going to do 0.349403. Then at key 150, we're going to do negative 1.31885. All right. All right. So I want to add some easing and some smoothing to the camera movements. So what I'll do, select everything, press Shift S, and on top of that, I'll add some easing. All right, let me set about 60. This might be a little bit too much, but let me see how it looks. Yeah, I'll take that. So it kind of has a little bouncy kind of thing in the beginning, bouncy back and forth, and then it goes in. Now the only thing with this now is that we're seeing some borders. Okay. Here. Yeah, the only thing we're seeing is we're seeing some, like the background isn't, this computer background isn't all the way scaled. So I'm gonna scale it up, and let me put the rendering back to full. So you can see it. You can see the black borders and stuff there. So I'm gonna just increase computer background scale a bit more to right there. So all right. Okay. But we're still not done though, even though we're almost done. We're still not done. We still have to add some more final touches to it. Because it's still, even though everything is pretty much set, the look of MagnatesMedia, it has a certain type of look. MagnatesMedia has a certain type of look, and I think the finishing touches are gonna bring it closer to that type of look. So what we're gonna do next is add a color corrector. All right, we're gonna go to menu, then go to levels. Then what we'll do is put 0.015, then 0.93. All right, so that basically raises the shadows a bit and lowers the highlights. Then after that, we're gonna add a soft glow node. All right. So what we do here is put 0.656 for the gain. For the glow size, we put 5.5. All right. So that's for the glow right there. And then after that, we're going to add a merge node. Okay. This merge node is going to have the following values. So for Y, it's going to have 0.066435. For the size, it's going to be 0.48. For the angle, 90. For the blend, it's going to have 0.378. So now what we're going to do here is add in a card fabric. And we're going to connect this to No, so this is a picture, right? So we're gonna just is this there to kind of give a texture to the image, to the whole scene. So what we're gonna do is add a rectangle to this. All right, and a soft edge of 0.1386. Width of 0.8403513. Height of 1.045748. But actually, let's stretch this a little bit. Yeah, let's do it like that. Then all right. So then on top of this, we're gonna add a CC node. Why I put CC? A color corrector node. Bring down the saturation. Okay, now we're gonna add transform. Center is gonna be center X is gonna be 0.71. Then size is gonna be 0.588. Aspect 1.337. All right. And let's do that. So for this transform right here, for this one here, right? Make sure to untick use size and aspect and have these values right here. So 0.588 for X size, and for Y size use 1.337. All right. And you'll get this. All right. So this is texture on this bottom half here. All right. So the next thing we're going to do after this is add an X fabric texture. Then we're going to add a merge again. And let's connect this to, all right. So what we're going to do is add an X rectangular mask to this, and I'm going to do the soft edge is 0.1386. Then after that, the width is going to be 0.8435561. The height is going to be 1.0455748. All right. So after that, we're going to add color corrector node again. Now this is going to be the same as this one. So we're going to bring it down, saturation, bring down the saturation. After this, transform. All right. Yeah, okay. Starting back. All right, so for this transform here, we're going to take off use size and aspect. So we're going to take the center X is going to be 1.298069. All right. The X is going to be 0.70644451. Then the Y size is going to be 1.337. Then we're going to flip. Click this flip here. All right. Okay. All right. And first let's now change this merge. The merge values for this. So for this merge value, we're going to put 0.0664335. Then for the size, 0.48. Angle, we're going to put 90. And then for the blend, I'm going to put 0.378. Okay. All right. So we have a little bit of texture coming in there. So you can always play around with it yourself in terms of how you want the texture to look. Right now it looks okay, but once we add all the final touches, it will look more cohesive. All right, so before I continue with this, let's bring saturation all the way down for Jensen. It's kind of blocking his face a bit, part of the plant. So what we could do is move the plant a little bit. Yeah, it's maybe. Okay, we can move up this plant here to maybe right here. and you can see the values here, but you don't have to, put in exactly how it is, but I just moved it up. And I just found that it being a little bit higher up would have been better. Yeah, so now this is what we're gonna do. Now we're gonna add a lens distort node. So what we do is go here, go to. All right, so what we're gonna do now is just put this value right here for lens distort, 0.127. All right, kind of stretches it out a bit. All right, then the next thing we're gonna add is prism blur. All right, that gives it a kind of a chromatic aberration look, some blur to it. Okay, aberration distance I'm gonna put 0.011. Aberration strength 0.400. Vignette size 0.2772. All right. It's kind of, I think we can improve a little bit on this. So what we'll do is for this merge, for merge 3, we'll move it up a bit, kind of to close that gap that was in the middle right there. How does that look? All right. Yeah, but the bottom is, so what we could do is for the transform, we could kind of stretch it a bit like that. Move the merge down a bit. Okay. All right. And I think the blend could go down a bit because it's kind of a little bit too noticeable a bit. So 0. Let's go back. All right. And then the next thing is maybe add a little bit more contrast to everything. So let's go like this. Yeah. So yeah, you could see with the color corrector, you could play around with it if you want more contrast, less contrast. Um, so you saw my merge, um, my values for the for transform. So my merge values and stuff on the renderer 3D. Activate motion blur that bring up the shutter angle all the way to 360. That adds in kind of a nice motion blur effect when it's zooming in. So I'm gonna make some more changes here that I think I just wanted to change a bit about it. So first, what I'll do here is let me go back to the beginning. All right, I find it's a little bit too it's a little bit too contrasty. I'm gonna bring it down a bit. So yeah, maybe right there. Okay. So after that, I'm gonna take off for this text here. I'm gonna take off this unsharp mask. All right, so that is off there. All right. Then after that, I'm gonna go by the prism blur. I'm gonna add ellipse mask to it. I don't want it quite over the whole thing. I find the text kind of maybe is a little bit too blurry for me. I mean, if you like it how it is, then you could keep it. But for me, it's a little bit too blurry-ish. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do soft edge 0.0824. Center X 0.44360084. Let me just put that. Y 0.2876447. And so we put maybe put 2. I mean, not have to be exact. Really. Then after that, what I want to do, so let me put it down to like right here. Okay. So about that. I just didn't want the whole thing. I mean, it really makes a difference, but I just didn't want the whole thing blurred. The whole text. All right, so I want it to be like that up to about this point. So I'll put the width and I'll put a keyframe for the width and the height at 80. Then at 85, I'll bring it down. So basically it goes away. The mask goes away after that. All right. Okay. So one more thing. I'm gonna add a curve. Color curves. All right, and I'm gonna make about the following. So I made, let's see, about 4 points in total, right? So I'm gonna raise this one up to about here. All right, put this out right there, around there. I mean, you could just estimate based off of what I'm doing. I'll put that right there. Let me bring this down a bit. So what I'm doing is basically bringing down the highlights and raising the shadows. Yeah, basically what I'm trying to do is kind of give it more of a textured effect. Like like when you see a newspaper or something that's on like physical material, maybe not nowadays, but older older times, you would see it's kind of the paper would make it kind of faded type of look, like it's on a actual material. That's what I'm trying to kind of get that type of look. So it doesn't look too as digital. So yeah, let me, what if I raise it up a little bit more? Yeah, now you're bringing it back down a little bit. Okay. Yes, I just, so right. So this right here, this picture here, what I want to do is, here, let me move this back. Here, I want to add, color corrector again. Okay, I want to add this color corrector. And what I'm going to do here is go to levels. Then I'm going to raise this right here to 0.033. And this right here is 0.897. And what's that basically doing is just basically doing kind of the same thing as what I did with the curves. I'm just doing it some more. So I'm just raising the blacks and lowering the highlights somewhere. And after that, I'm going to change the on-chart mask settings for this. I'm going to put 1.631. And then here I'm going to put 1.73. All right. So it's it's more soft. Yeah. Yeah. So I ended up with 0.344 for this. It gives it kind of a nice kind of paper effect. Well, I find it might be a little bit too much. I might later on look at this and be like, okay, I need to, play around with it some more. But you could do the same. You could now, if you could, what you have to do. You could just go here and mess around with the blend to something that you like. Go to the faded picture. That's this behind you. Where was that again? Is it? Yeah. I'm going to go to this picture here and I'm going to raise the blend to 0.262. So you can see it somewhere. Yeah, you can see him more in the background. All right. Yeah, so this is the contrast I'm using now for this color corrector here. I'm going to use 1.131. All right, for this one here. I decided to change that a bit. So yeah, so that's it. That's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's very lengthy. I know it was a lot, but hopefully you learned a lot from it. And let me know, there's other styles that you want me to try to replicate for you, or something else you want me to talk about. Yeah.